Hi, here we go. Um, this is my first video. No, I ain't gonna say that. It's the first time I'm opening up myself to the world. Okay. Um, please forgive my teeth because I don't wear them most of the time. I'm single and so I don't have to put on for, somebody else. And so I haven't quite learned how to deal with them. I've been sick for the last 3, 4. Well, I got sick, and I think 22 into 21, and I ended up getting cancer. Lord willing, I am cancer free at the moment, so thank God for that. I do thank Him quite often for that. I had colon cancer. I came down. I was working for a plastic company, and I handled their material. The material department. I mostly oversaw it and made things run as smoothly as possible. Boy, I can hear my S's. Please forgive me. Hopefully in the future I will be able to do this better. And hopefully I will be used to my teeth. I mean, they haven't even grown into my face yet. I don't even know how to eat with them yet. That's like, I've had them. I got them when I was sick. I had all my teeth pulled out when I was sick. Sorry, I'm not looking at you very much, but I'm a little nervous. But forgive me. I'll try to work on that. Anyway, I came down with colon cancer, so I ended up having to quit the job, of course, because I couldn't work and do chemo. I had a mass in my intestinal. They removed that, and then I got a lot of chemo. Then I had cancer on my liver, on the bottom part of it. So then they went out and cut the bottom part of my liver off, and hunted around for any more, and they say I'm clean. Though that was like about a year ago. And I'm just now getting to where I don't see the doctor on a monthly basis, It's now, like next time I see the doctor won't be until April. So I'm kind of like breaking out of my shell the most I possibly can. And I know it's like, for me, it's a big step because I'm a quiet person. I don't really, I'm the type of person I'd rather blend into the wall. Really, that's, I'm going to label this, I do believe, you'll know by the time it goes up, but I'm going to label this, I do believe, as me finding me again, or me being me, or Linda being me. By the way, my name is Linda Wingard. I am very much a Christian. I try not to be offensive with it in any way, shape, or form. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be a judgmental, hard-hitting kind of Christian. I want to be the kind that blends in and helps you. Help the ones that You know, I mean, I don't want to go in and start hitting people over the head with the Bible. That's, you know, that's not how I want to live. I try to live the best that I can, and believe me, when I start to falter, God does get a hold of me and reins me back in. So I take one day at a time. But back in previously, I'll go back to my younger years. I grew up in a very religious family. Both my parents. My dad, not so much. My dad was more of a supportive ministry to my mother's ministry. And, but he, you know, he knew a lot about the Bible, and he also, you know, and he was a very loving, kind person and cared about, you know, humanity. But he too also, you know, didn't like stick out too much like a sore thumb. I want to be more of a help than anything else. I suppose, you know, I can't tell you everything in this video, of course, about everything, but I grew up in that kind of an atmosphere. But my parents, because I was an odd type person, I mean, I was odd in my family, they understood me. I had a great family life growing up. So I thank God for that. I had a lot of support. At feeling like a person, you know, not feeling like I didn't belong to them or anything. I wasn't like that. Let's get on to main things. I'll tell you more, you know, as this goes by. Like I said, this is my first time, so it's difficult. You know, I don't, and any feedback, you know, questions that you might have, please feel free. But I'm going to start out with, you know, like everybody thinks, you know, when they start something, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, but they never get around to doing it, you know. So this is my today getting around to doing it. It ain't perfect. It's put together, rushed, probably because at the beginning of the first year, you know how everybody feels. I'm going to change. I'm going to do better. I'm going to be this or I'm going to be that. And so this is my first step. I have some other changes that I plan on doing, but this is my first step. But what I'm going to talk about is, of course, I mean, I know some of you will probably realize that on Blue Sky, I've had a little blip at trying my hand at that, and that's okay. I get tired sometimes, but this I think I can manage a little bit better. I'm hoping, because you know, like I can do it for a while and then I'll get tired of it. So I'm bad about that. But I guess if I see that it's valuable, not to me so much valuable, but to other people, because I don't want to waste people's time. That's not what I'm here for. So anyway, I hate long introductions. So let's get down to the meat of the subject. First, how I talk about, and you know, on Blue Sky, I talk about, or have talked about, the chart I came up with, or God showed me. And I know a lot of people, it's very controversial because of, you know, where you have anybody who can tell the future, fortune teller, tarot card reading, all that kind of stuff. You know, the Bible has looked down upon it. So after I got away from a lot of people and I came to myself, like I had to find God for me. I didn't find God for, because of my parents, which is what my mom had taught me. Get God for yourself. Don't get God because somebody, because you're trying to please anybody else. Because God is really, really good comforter, help, and support psychically, mentally. It's just very good. So anyway, on my travels, I studied about God a lot. I had a deep hunger that I wanted to know, so I studied the Bible and did things like that. And the reason I started paying attention to this, it comes from the pyramids. And the reason I started paying attention to it was because, the verse where Jesus said, if I didn't preach, the stones would cry out. And so that always made me wonder so when I had heard about the pyramids, to me that was stones. And so to me, I think that's how I came to find this, because I was praying, God, show me your way, show me what it is you want me to do, and how to do it. And so I'm trying to do that now. I'm trying to follow through. Am I obeying God? I sure hope so. I sure hope this is what God wants me to do. But I'm highly wanting you to understand that you are responsible for your own salvation. It says to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. And I believe me, when you get to know God and you get closer to God and you start really having a real relationship with God where He's a part of your daily thoughts and your daily activities, and I know that's a lot for some, because, people, don't want to be that close to God. But I did. So, I followed after God. But probably the reason I did was because being very sensitive to energy, I got to a conclusion that I was not what people wanted as in a female. I was always heavy. I have been heavy all my life. I would like to change that, at least, be more healthier. So that's another, this year it's going to be a little different. I'm going to try to be that. But it's best to start off a little slower than I plan to be starting. But hopefully by doing this is going to keep me, what do you call that? Answer, somebody to answer to. So I guess I'm trying to open myself up to the public, to where I'm answering to, the public for my behavior. But anyway, to get back to my chart, the reason I started, was because God, showed me. And so when I started reading about the pyramids, and I started looking at the way the passages went up in that, I realized that was a lot, the way I walked with God. That the passages that I encountered, or the blocks and the passages and the things that I had to go through, I realized that, it really was a part of something that was truthful. The pyramids were. I didn't find it, what I was seeing was a truthful thing. And God is truth. He's the light, He's the truth, He's the way. So if you find the truth, even if someone that you don't really care for brings it to you, you still have to look at it. in your own self and be honest with yourself and say, yeah, this is true. I'm not a person that likes to be fake at all. I don't. I mean, if I can cut down on being fake as much as I can, I try to. I suppose maybe that's why I don't have the desire to, put teeth in my mouth and all that. But anyway, growing up being a wallflower type person that thinks that nobody would be interested in them that way, I did turn to God, and God was my comfort. And I knew God loved me. I knew God because that's what everybody's taught, Come to God as you are, and God will make you what He wants you to be. And I believe that. One step at a time, one day at a time. And He doesn't necessarily take the problems away, but He does make you a lot stronger in how you handle them if you follow after Him. If you continually, if He comes at you with something that's really hard, you suffer a hardness. I was always I was always in the position, I'm not running from God. What is there to turn to? No. God really cared about me. And I knew that in the things that had happened in my life. But anyway, I married an alcoholic, an abusive alcoholic. And so I had 4 pregnancies. I had 2 children whom I love very much and try to help them, but I also try to keep my distance so they make their own choices in their own ways. And also, too, I want to have my life. I want, I'm beginning again. I did the family thing, I did the work thing, I did, and I want to get back to work of some kind, but not as hard as I have been working. But let's get to the chart today, because this is it will turn out to be a long video if I don't. And I'll probably shoot, since I've got it set up, I'll probably shoot maybe 2, 3, 4 days. That way I don't have to work every day at it. Okay, so I'll do today's chart. And like I said, I got this chart from studying the measurements in the pyramid, because in the measurements they told a story, and the story that they were telling was the kinds of things that I was experiencing with God, the path that I was taking with God. I also have the Holy Ghost. I know a lot of people don't understand that, and that's a hard thing to understand, really, because the biggest thing that I can come up with I have to think that we go through lives upon the earth more than once. And, you don't die. You sleep, but you don't die. Unless you die the second death. And, I believe that's when you're really gone. You don't come back in another form, another child or whatever. I think, I don't know that. I don't teach that. That's not something I would go out and say, oh yeah. No, but I think that the Holy Ghost is really, to me, it would be like all the other lives that I had lived over the, thousands of years, whatever, and all the good things and all the bad things I learned are stuck up in here. And I think the Holy Ghost is the culmination of all of that, and a way to basically bring yourself together. I think. Like I said, I'm still learning. But anyway, to get back to my chart, I'll do today real quick, because the day is almost over. But for me, well, chart starts out with today. If you go and look at my book that I have, it tells you how I come up with these numbers. And so today, the emotional number, the top row number is 12. And then the second, third is 3, and then 3, and then -6. And -6 is when you feel negative, when you feel negative, in the negatives. That means you don't want it. And to me, 6 is authority. It could be man authority. It could be your family's authority. It could be your job's authority. It could be the government. Wherever authority's coming in, and it can be God. So when you see 6, that's what I feel. So I'm in a -6 today, which is giving me the feeling my bottom line number is -6, which means that I am not wanting the authority that's over my life that I have. Whatever, however the authority shows up, like right now, of course, I don't have much money. I'm living on disability right now, temporary disability, because of my cancer. And pretty soon I'm in the process of trying to find work now under Ohio's, I'm not sure how it's Ohio Disability Opportunity kind of stuff. So I'm trying to go through that so I can get back into the work field. But anyway, so the -6 part is probably, I'm feeling that I want change. I don't like the problems that I have. And so the only way that I can really get at them to deal with them better is to change some things. So, I have to deal with the world. So that's where I am. Now, if you are an alpha female, or you could be an alpha male, the next alpha, well, it's an alpha female. See, now I want to stop and fix it, but I don't want to stop and fix it because this is the problems, I'm going to have to work out. And I know you're like, oh man, we're going to have to watch this. This is so cringe. And that's probably true. But it's my cringe, and it is my life, and it is something that I'm trying to fix. So today, the bottom line for the female, alpha female, is also -6. That's what it adds up to, but it's -15, which means its unwanted emotion is dominating initiate. Which, I suppose that's me, because I do fall under an initiate as a person who deals with the truth. An initiative says, rent's got to be paid next month. What are we going to do about it? That's a kind of, it's looking at reality and responding to reality in a positive manner if you can. I mean, of course, you could do that in a negative way, but I don't know, that's not me. But anyway, the alpha female right now, the bottom line is unwanted emotion is dominating initiative position. So that could either mean that the alpha females that are around me, now this could be a man or a woman. When I mean an alpha feminine, it's a feminine nature, And see, like, I live in the two, the alpha male and the alpha female. The things that I decide and how I control my life and what I do leans more on the alpha initiate, or the alpha male side of the initiate, and the other, the next one down is my female side more. But it also could be another individual, another female that's stepping up to the plate and living, you know, in a very positive manner, and in a very, this is what I should do, this is how I should be. So that's an initiative, female. And right now their bottom line is negative 15. So that's unwanted emotion is dominating initiate position. So to this person who would fall under that, you see their emotion is 21. Mental, sorry, I do have that back problem, so I do move, I have to move. The 21, mental is dominating initiative. And 21 is 3 times 7. 3 is the dragon part of you, your belief system. 3 is your belief system. So to be a 21, your mental is dominating your emotions because you believe you should. 3 times 7. You want to be better. 7 is have had enough of the situation. Things have got to change. And so because of that, mental is dominating the emotion. 12 is 4 times 3. And that's reality to your belief. So they are mentally thinking that the reality times 3 is mental dominating emotion. Because it's reality in your face. It's what you believe. It's reality is what you believe. So that is a 12. And that's what they're thinking. I gotta do this, you know. The next line down, I consider to be, it's the because line. Sorry, my teeth. It's a because line. So you say, like you would say for the feminine mass, or the feminine, alpha feminine, is that your mental is dominating your emotions. And emotions, but you're thinking emotions is dominating mental. And that's what you're thinking. You're like, I gotta stop being this feeling I'm having, you know, like 12, I gotta stop doing this because your emotion is 21, mental is dominating emotions. But you also have this, your mental and your emotions are actually dancing with each other because you're having 21 and 12. And the because line, negative 6, is because of unwanted authority. Because of unwanted authority, like I said, anywhere it's coming from, negative, excuse me, cringe moment, I gotta rethink. I pick up a lot of things in my head because I'm empathic, and energy will float in and it gets me off. So, into the chemo has a lot to do with that too. But anyway, unwanted 6 is unwanted authority, and that's her because or his. But, well, it's a feminine, but it could still be a man. Unwanted authority. And then her bottom line is, when you wrap it up all together, unwanted emotion is dominating initiate position. Unwanted authority. So the female, alpha female, is feeling unwanted authority. Now, I find this next is the male, but this would be the male, a regular male, you know, not an alpha male. And the alpha male is more of one that takes the position honestly. You know, they don't hide from it, that they step up to be what the truth needs you to be. they are going, into that higher self, or they could be staying and not stepping up. And that kind of a person would be, today they're feeling, 30. Belief is dominating manifestation, which means that their belief is now, what you believe about things is now causing things to change in your life. It's manifesting. Your belief is manifesting. So 30, belief is manifesting. The next down is 21. So mental is dominating emotion. So the person is thinking, I've got to get a hold of my emotions. This isn't working. So your mental is picking up on that and dealing with what you would rather be doing or what you want to feel, So that's the 21. And because this unwanted emotion is dominating in this ship position, unwanted 6, which is, we're still dealing with, unwanted mental is dominating reality. Unwanted thoughts, mental activity is dominating this person's world. Unwanted 24. And, that's 3 times 8, so 3, your beliefs are learning or realizing a new level of understanding, which is 8. And the bottom line, 24, 3 times 8, 2 times 12, emotion is dominating mental. And because of the 2 times 12, or 2 times 6, you get 2 times 12, which is 4 times 6, reality times authority, unwanted mental is dominating reality. I'm sorry, I promise I'll get better at this. At least I will try. Because I feel like I'm all over the place. And to new people I am. But then that's where I would suggest go look at my book. It's on Amazon. And check out the things that I have written in Blue Sky. They under Linda Wingard, they will explain a lot of this, give you the background. So I feel like I'm coming at you a little higher than, you don't have all the pre-knowledge that you need to understand what I'm saying. But so I'm going to try to get away from the numbers, I think, and try to just explain how you're feeling. So the bottom line for this type of a person, which I usually find to be males, feel this when they're not being alphas. This is a male when this person is they're more on their feminine side. They're being, childish about the situation or whatever. But anyway, that's unwanted mental is dominating reality. The next one I usually find a lot of females that are in their male side here, but just normal, everyday, going where the wind blows type man would be this. And their bottom line is negative 33. Unwanted beliefs, motives are revealed. Or unwanted. I also call 3 as the dragon. 3 is what your mental and your emotions come to be, how they react to the world, because that's what you are, is your thoughts and your feelings. They control your world. Sorry, I'm having problems with my teeth. I'm trying, guys. I'm really sorry that this is, not smooth and polished. I promise I will work on it and try to forward, but I knew I had to get myself up and at it. I had to get myself into it. So here I'm going to close this one because it's getting long. I'm going to go ahead and I might make another one. Well, I probably will because I'll need it for tomorrow. Well, actually, I need to go ahead and tell you about tomorrow. I'm not going to close yet. Yeah, that's what I was going to do because I need to do it this ahead of time so that you also have a time to prepare to accept or to know what to expect, what is going on in your life that's probably going to happen if by looking at the world. By looking at these numbers, and you'll know ahead of time what you're going to expect tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Today, for me, what my outlook for tomorrow is going to be, my emotion will be dominating my belief system. My emotions will be dominating what I believe. 13, is a prime number, so nothing goes into it but 13 times 1, unless you get into fractions and things like that, which right now, that's not important. So tomorrow is going to be about reality, because that's going to be my number 2, my mental energy is going to be in 4 tomorrow, which is about reality. And it's because of reality that I'm going to not want to be an initiate. Okay, I don't want to be an initiate tomorrow. Today, I do not want authority. That is what I'm feeling. And that's that's the bottom line. What I'm dealing with is my belief system in the real world. So, that would be the 12 for today. But tomorrow it's going to be 13, which is my emotions will believe. That's what 13 means. The base part of you, your emotions. We do things because of our emotions, We do things because of our emotions. And the more we pay attention to what we believe, we keep those emotions in a certain kind of, context. Like, because we believe it's wrong to kill, when I get extremely angry, I'm not going to try to go get a gun and take care of business, because my belief system does not allow me to do that. Now, if I believed it was okay, so it's my belief system that keeps me from doing things or to do things by helping out your neighbor kind of thing, by, being there for people. So my top number is 13, and it's about reality. Because my emotion believes and my mentality is focusing on reality, not, it'd be nice to live in a Walt Disney kind of world, where everything's, hey, hi-ho, that ain't where it's at, it's reality. So tomorrow I'm going to be thinking about reality. And I'm not going to want to be an initiate. I don't want to have to deal with the truth, and that's what I'm going to feel like tomorrow. I don't want to deal with these things. I'd, rather move on. For the alpha male, this person is going to understand any mental's motives. Tomorrow you'll be able to see, and also the thing about 4 reality is that if you pull a 4 in your chart, that means 2 things. One, you can really see things clearly on a day 4. You can really see it. If you have 4 in the chart. But also, 4 to me is like standing up on a mountain, and when you can see how the land lays. You see, what it's going to be like if you go a certain way. You can really see how things are. And so being up on top of a mountain so you can see these things clearly, you are also seeing clearly. When you're standing on a mountain, everybody can look up and see you're standing where you're standing. So anybody who pulls a 4 or a 44 or anywhere in 4s, you're dealing with the reality that is seen. So tomorrow I'll be in the 4s. So tomorrow you'll be able to see me clearly, and I'll be able to see you clearly. And I hope that's a good thing. I don't want it to be a bad thing. I do want comments. Just be kind. No, I don't mean be kind. Well, you always should be kind. You should always be kind to everybody. But truth is truth, and sometimes it's not kind. And, when you're a Christian who can drink or eat meat, that is because you're somebody who can take the truth and chew it up and work it, get nutrition from it, and live better. Instead of a person who is a milk-fed baby, they can't do much. They can't even digest the food properly. And so you don't give a person like that meat. And so what does that mean? If you have a Christian that is a baby and is only on milk, that means you have to give them everything in a perfect way, because they can't digest it in any other form, in any other way. They can get nutrition from milk, but they couldn't get nutrition from meat. They would attack you. They would come back at you and say, things, I don't want to listen to you no more. I don't like you. I don't want to be a part of you, or whatever. That is more of a person who drinks milk. Whereas a person who can eat meat and chew on it is a type of person that gets the information and sits with it and say, what can I get out of this? Is this part true? Yeah, I do think that that's true. Or no, I don't think this part is true, but I can see where you're coming from. Or what, that's eating meat. That means you're not chucking out everything. You're dealing with it. You're chewing it, and you're growing from it, becoming stronger. So tomorrow is going to be 4. The overall day is 4. So tomorrow people will see things a lot more clearly. They'll have a lot more understanding. Things will be wow, because everybody is, anybody in this thing, this 4 will see mental's reasoning for the things that they did. Mental's motive. Whenever you have like an 11, if you pull an 11 in your chart, you're going to be either telling somebody why you did the things you did, or they're going to be telling you why you did the things or why the things they did to you. It's your emo's motive. So when you draw a 22, that's your mental motive. Boy, I need to cut this down because it's going, I guess I'll try to cut it down before the hour. So the alpha male will pull a 22 in the emotional range. That means that you will believe when your emotions get something. That's like that's your base understanding of reality. Is your emotions. That's your base. And then you go up to your mental. And your mental is your understanding of reality looped together, like you drew it in a bow and made it make sense, kind of thing. So 22 is you're going to see mental's motive tomorrow. And this type of person, but also not only would they see mental's motive, but they will also be seen. Their motives, their mental energies motives will be seen. So 22 is that. It's the mental reason you did something. I don't have an example to give you right now, but I'm sure that you understand, kind of what I'm saying, or just a simple kind of thing. Like somebody freaking out over, like say they're freaking out over their partner because the rent's due. And you see why the person's freaking out because the rent's due and you can't be going spending that money somewhere else. So that's mental motives. Reasoning is shown, it's revealed. Mental motive. The motives are revealed whenever you see a double number. 13 is in their mental thoughts. Their emotion is dominating belief, and that's why they're doing what they're doing. You see, once again, 22, mental motive is revealed. Because of unwanted initiate position, unwanted emotion is dominating reality. So the alpha male will have unwanted dominating reality, which means that they're not going to be happy with what's going on. It's just, so emotion, unwanted emotion is going to be dominating that. So with somebody who's in a 14, they could be complaining a lot. They could be upset about things. 2 times 7. It's a mentality of had enough. It's why should I be getting upset? Because the mental energy behind this, and then you go back to the 22, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing kind of thing. Mental motive revealed. And the second is emotion is dominating belief because their base emotion is dominating what they believe. Their emotions are getting it, is understanding it, believing it. Because once again, 3 is belief. So emotion dominating belief. Your emotions are getting it. And your mental is understanding why they're doing what they're doing. Because of initiate position, unwanted emotion is dominating reality. For the male, feminine kind of energy, their emotional numbers is 31. Belief, what they believe is dominating emotions. That usually means that because I believe this is happening, or because I believe, I'm going to not listen to what I really feel like doing. A 31 would be a person who, instead of getting the gun to go shoot somebody, let's take that word out. We don't want to do that. I don't know. I might have to figure out how to bleep that because I don't want that, popping up on the algorithm. But because you don't want to hurt somebody, because you realize it's more intelligent not to hurt somebody, you don't want to do that. So that's your 31. That is, belief is dominating my emotions. My beliefs right now are telling me my emotions to sit down, kind of feeling. That's a 31. 22, your mental is because you see mental's reasoning for doing what they're doing. Because unwanted emotion is dominating reality. Everybody is not happy. That's the feeling. The bottom line is unwanted mental is dominating belief. So unwanted mental is dominating belief for the male feminine energy. This is a person not stepping up to the plate, but this is where they're at. Now the next one I usually find is 40, is reality is dominating manifestation. That's when what has been going on is now affecting you. That would be like whatever you've been doing. If you've been really mean or snarky to people, 40 is they're going to come back at you somehow. And that's what a 40 is. 4, dominating manifestation. 4 is it has broken in belief. Like if you think of 39, belief is holding position. Belief that's holding position is a person who keeps seeing the same thing over and over again, and they have come to the conclusion, yeah, that's why. And then when you get to 40, which is, one step away from the 39, because you believe that, yeah, this is really what's going on. Whatever you decide to do about it, that's 40. Reality is dominating emotions. Their mental energy is 31. Belief is dominating emotions. 3 is dominating. What they believe is dominating their emotions. Because unwanted 23, unwanted mental is dominating belief. Their bottom line is unwanted belief is dominating mental. So they're not, because of what they're doing, they're not going to use their mentality to step up. To do what they would normally do. Their mental is dominating belief. Once you learn to read the chart and you find yourself, you will find yourself in 2 places. So I'm going to try to wrap this one up. You will find yourself in 2 different places on the chart. And one will be your lower self and one will be your upper self. And the 2 together makes who you are, which is, 3 is going to come out of it because 1 plus 2 is 3. So like I said, what you believe and what you think is how you begin to make yourself in the world. And as we grow up, we are learned and taught how to deal with the world. And if we listen and don't let emotions get in the way, we usually fare okay. But if we if we allow our beliefs to check us and say, no, you can't do that, then, you go back to being what you should be. I'm not going to be emotionally mean because that's not just how things should be. That's not how it works. You can't just go do what you want to just because you want to. You need some forethought in the matter. So I'm going to cut it off here. I'm sorry for the all over the place. I hope I've made some sense. I'm still learning, and I'm still coming through a lot of stuff that I've been through from the years. And I do want to try to help. I don't want to be a hindrance. And, I keep telling myself, I want to get on the internet. I want to get on the internet. Because that's what everybody hears. That's what everybody thinks. I want to be on the internet. I want to make money. I want to do this. That's what everybody thinks. Of course, I'd like to be successful. That would be stupid of me not to want to be successful. And like I get, unwanted authority. Yeah, I'm trying to better myself also. So I always say, I hope I help you and I hope I help me. I definitely don't want to hurt you, and I don't want to hurt myself either. I just, I heard a while ago somebody said, the world needs more peace and more kindness, more loving in the world. And I thought, well, I need to get out there. I need to stop hiding or whatever I'm doing. I have come a lot. I have worked through a lot, and coming through the cancer and all that. I don't want to go back that way. I don't want to go back to it. This is me being me. in trying to get out there and not shut myself off so much. And so I'm hoping I find friends. I hope I find a community. I hope to build a community. That's the kinds of things I want to do. So I hope that I helped. I don't know if I have or not, but I hope I have. So that's what the numbers are for tomorrow. I'll try to come back here as much as I can. Of course, because it's good for the algorithm to be consistent. I have heard that, so I'm going to try to be consistent and do the things I need to do. So I hope we have a good relationship together. I hope that we can find higher grounds together. I hope we can become stronger together. I do want these things together. I don't want to go through life so much by myself like I have been. Mostly because I've been learning and watching and staying on the outside and not really delving in too deep because of not wanting to get my hands dirty. Well, this is me getting my hands dirty. This is me just showing who I am. So I'm going to leave it with that. And may God bless you. May God bless your family. And I hope that we can grow together. Bye-bye.